Reid will suit him better physically. He won't get thrown out of the contest like he's been doing.
No, he does. So this is if we go back to the round 22 game here. Early on, Gibson had Reid, and Reid just had him for spring. You can see nice body work there, and springs it. He's long, Reid. The thing about Reid, he takes it at its highest point. Here's one here where he sneaks around the back and takes a nice mark. I think Schoenmakers did move on him, but then Schoenmakers did okay because you can see the size. There's no weight difference between those two. They're both in about the same level of maturity, and there's Stratton coming over the top. So Schoenmakers Reid is a better matchup for Hawthorn.
What do you do with Sam Reid, Ruzi, as far as his confidence? Dropped a lot on the weekend. He'll be a little bit nervous going in.
Look, I think Sydney's more about the structure. They don't rely on, Buddy maybe kicking. Although, I mean, certainly without taking anything away from Hawthorn's forward line, they've got Bruce and Rioli, etc. But I think the strength of Sydney's forward line is Reid doesn't have to have a big game. Lewis Roberts-Thompson doesn't have to have a big game. Goodsey doesn't have to have a big game. It's really the way they play more so. And I think Reid's just critical, regardless of how he's performing individually.
You mentioned LRT. He's almost the X factor to me now. I mean, he'll slip out they'll have blokes that they want to put more time into, but geez, he doesn't do much wrong, this bloke, does he?
He's had a magnificent finals.
He can look ungainly, but he just doesn't make blues. I mean, this is as clever a block as you've seen there. He looked like he was a bit lost, but he knew exactly what he was doing.
And there's a really good mark over Ben Reid.
Yeah.
Look, it's amazing the number of people since last weekend's game have said to me, geez, Ruzi, Lewis Roberts-Thompson's not a bad player. But people in Sydney, and I mean, associated with the football club, players, coaching staff, look at that front and square. I mean, he'll go on and play over 200 games, Lewis Roberts-Thompson. You remember the 2005 grand final, half-time.
He's in front of the
Norm Smith. He had the Norm
Smith
around his neck. So, look, he's been a consistent player. And when he plays his role, Louis, he's a very good player, and now as a forward, he's playing a really important role for them.